Hey everybody, it's Stencil Sunday. I hope you can join us and check out everybody in the playlist. I want to thank my host, Mary, from The Painted Peach. Make sure you go check out her channel and subscribe. Okay, we're going to do a Halloween Hey There pumpkin door hanger. My stencils came from Essential Stencil. Use the code FUNKYJUNK, all one word. You can save 10% at discount or at checkout. This is a stencil from last year, but I absolutely love this stencil, and I think it makes a very cute door hanger. Now what I'm doing here is because I'm going to do the background, two different colors. I'm going to use an off-white and a green. So I was just lining up where I wanted everything to be and where I wanted that green to be. So I had marked that with a pencil, and then I marked it on the sides of the round so that when I painted over it, I could still pick up where that was. Now, I was just double checking to make sure it was lined up with my hole at the top, because this is a double-sided door hanger. The other side of the door hanger I had done on a live on Facebook Friday, so just a couple days ago. So I needed to clean my table off because I had gotten paint on it and I didn't want it to get on the other side. So I just got that dry right there. So now I'm going to take some yellow and I'm just going to kind of dry brush some yellow on that top part up there, just so that it makes you think that it's the sky and maybe it's a fall evening, that kind of thing. So I just dry brushed a little bit of golden yellow on there. Now we're going to get that dry right there. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our stencils. Okay, so I'm going to put Hey There Pumpkin up here at the top, just kind of lining it up to make sure that I have it kind of straight. If you notice, it does come off my board a little bit, and I'm okay with that. I don't think that's something that's going to be that noticeable. And here I'm just making sure that I'm putting that in the right spot because I want my pumpkins to be sitting in the grass. That is why I made my fence a little bit shorter, because I want the pumpkins actually sitting in the grass in front of the fence. I don't want them to be suspended in midair in the middle of the fence. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm just double checking myself here. And I'm going to put a little piece of tape just to hold that in place right there. Now when you're stenciling, the best thing to do with stenciling is the least amount of paint is best. So make sure that you're not going straight from the paint or straight onto your stencil. Always offload. It's best to offload on a paper towel or something because that will get the blobs off. And always hit your stencil, maybe not right where you're going to, where the words are or the graphic is or whatever. Just kind of hit it where there's an open spot just to make sure you don't have a blob of paint on there. That's what I do a lot of times. Now, I like to go in a circular motion. Some people like to stipple. You can use makeup brushes, whatever you feel like that you want to do. And I go both directions. I turn one way, then I turn the other way. And that helps get every single little nook and cranny. But not only that, it helps spread your paint a little bit better because your paint will pool at the edges of the stencil. It's just, that's just part of it. So going back the other way, it pulls that paint away from that edge that it pooled at. So here I am just stenciling. Hey There Pumpkin. And I think this is turning out really cute so far. I like the black on the yellow beigey color up there. I think that looks really cute. And we're just going to stencil away. I'll take this time to thank Mary, my co-host of the From the Painted Peach. Make sure you go check her out. We do Stencil Sunday the first Sunday of every month. If you are a creative that loves to do stenciling, you are more than welcome to join us. You can message either me or Mary, and we can get you added into the chat. Again, it's always the first Sunday of every month. Now here I just pick it up before I pull it off and make sure it's what I like. Then I pull it off because then it's easier just to lay back down if I just kind of glance at it before I tear it off. Now, can you lay your stencil back down if you've already tore it off? Yes, most definitely. Very easy to do. Just saves you a little time if you go ahead and do it. Just kind of hinge it up to make sure. So now I'm going to put the white picket fence down here. And I did notice as I was laying that on there, my tape down there to shorten my pickets is extremely crooked. So we're going to fix that here in a second. I think I'm going to tape down the stencil first right there, and then I'm going to tear that off and make that a little bit straighter. That was like super duper crooked. And right here, I'm just basically the width of the tape, cutting those off shorter. Okay, so now that we've got that, and I just kind of push that down so that when I run my stencil brush over that, I have a nice crisp line. Now I'm going to use my white paint. Now I like to use Rust-Oleum chalked paint. I put it in the FIFO bottles. Those are condiment bottles. If you look on Amazon, you can get those. And that's nice to put your quart paints in. If you can buy something by the quart, you're going to save a little bit of money by doing it that way. And then I put it in the FIFO bottles, and it keeps it nice and fresh and easy to dispense out. Now I'm painting over green here, dark green. And as you can see, it's not covering real well. It's covering a little bit, but not real well. So we're going to need to put a second coat on. And one of my pickets up there is in front of the pea, the second pea and pumpkin. So I need to make sure that gets covered too. So I'm going to just dry that again. And here I go right back over it with a second coat. And as you can see, it makes all the difference in the world. That second coat just kind of takes all the brush marks away and covers up that green really good. So, you know, like I said, less is best when you're stenciling. Sometimes you got to put 1, 2, 3 coats on it. You know, it's just part of it because you just don't want to go in with a whole bunch of paint. Now, I will say this, you don't have to offload quite as much when you're doing such a big area. As you saw me there, I kind of went to the paint, offloaded just a little bit, and then went to the middle because I could use that to offload in there. Now, I did go over my picket fence with my sanding block a little bit, just so you won't see bumps where the fence is in the pumpkins, if that makes sense. Because, you know, when you add layers of paint, it, you know, it gives it, you know, I don't know the word that I want to use, but it, you know, it makes it thicker there, and you would see the edges of that. So I just stenciled that over, or I mean sanded that over and got that out of the way. Now, if you notice here, as soon as I put my orange paint on, because this is a thinner paint, it's not covering that green very well. We don't want our pumpkins to look like they have a picket fence in the middle of them. That's kind of silly. So what I do here is I go ahead and stencil this, and look how fast I can stencil. Isn't that funny looking? I go ahead and try to put a second coat over to see if it covers it good enough. And you will see here it does not. It still does not cover it. Now, I wasn't thinking when I started this because I would have done this from the beginning, but I make the mistake again when we get ready to do the pumpkin stems, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to go over it with the second coat of orange just so that they're even. We're going to dry that a little bit, and then we're going to put white paint down. White paint down first, and then the orange will cover that green a lot better. And you don't have to go orange, orange, white, then green like I did. You could start with the white, get the white paint down, and then a couple coats of the orange, and it will cover. I don't know why I didn't do that to begin with, but, you know, try to skip a step and just make it harder on myself, right? So here I am just covering that with the white. I'm not getting real crazy about the white. I just need it covered so that that orange will stick and not have the picket fence in the middle of it. Okay, so here we go again with the orange, and as you can see, it's so much better. It's covering that up, and it looks so much nicer. So it's starting to look like a pumpkin, right? Pretty close, anyway. So I'm just going to continue to stencil that. You guys, we have a lot of fun and exciting people that are joining us in the playlist today. Make sure you check all of them out. Best thing you can do for us is give us a thumbs up, give us a comment. That is fantastic. If you like what you words are hard today. If you like what you see, make sure you subscribe to their channels and hit the bell so you get notifications on when they go live and stuff like that. Now I flipped this around. Now the reason I flipped it around was because part of the stencil was going to hang off, and if I left it the other way, that would be in my belly, and we don't want that. That'll push the stencil up, because one of the key things on helping not get bleed through and stuff like that is to make sure your stencil is laying flat. Okay, we don't want it to bow up or anything. That can cause a little bit of problems. Now I make the same mistake here. I go ahead and go over these with green, and as you can see on that middle pumpkin, where it's orange and the green goes over the orange, it does not cover. Why I didn't start with white, I don't know, because I just did it like what? Just a couple minutes ago, right? Anyway, so I go back over with white, and then I'm going to go back over it with the green again, and then it covers up real good. So always remember that. A good, idea or a good thing if you're going over another color is just to kind of remember. Maybe go over it with white first and then with your regular color. Oh, look at their little faces. Aren't they adorable? I really like how this turned out. I think this turned out really cute. Now this is for someone else. So I'll be shipping this off because it's double-sided, and she actually won this in an auction, and I promised to do Halloween on one side for her as a treat, and so this is getting shipped off, but I think I may be making another one to put on my front door because I think it's I like spooky Halloween, but I also like the happy, whimsical Halloween like this. So anyway, I think I might make another one just to put on my door. I like how it turned out. Turned out really cute. Now, as we always do here at Funky Junk Inspiration, I always frame in my projects. I think that draws your eye in to look at the project, and it doesn't have it wander out. That is just my thought on that. But I always frame in my projects, and I'm going to use black here. And I think this turned out very, very cute, you guys. There's our final reveal. I absolutely love it. Now, if you're interested in any of the essential stencils, make sure you use the code FUNKYJUNK at checkout and save yourself an additional 10%, and that helps me out a little bit too. Please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that bell. You'll get notifications whenever I post a new video. And thank you very much for joining me. Bye-bye.